Good evening, Ms. Lisa Christensen.
Good evening. To start, I wanted to let you know that I'm a mother of 4 children, ages 8 to 15. I was here in Binghamton 2 years ago when our former commissioner and members of the Board of Regents wanted to hear from us about our concerns with Common Core, and yet here we are again. Nothing's changed, except that our children have lost another 2 years of a meaningful education, and our former commissioner is now charged with overseeing all of the children in the country, not just those here in New York State. We recognize this charade for what it really is. It's a stall tactic. We know that the longer the state can put off the noticeably vocal concerns and outrage of parents and teachers, the more entrenched it will become. The state can attempt to rename or rebrand and send us toolkits, all while pretending to listen. But we as parents will continue to do the only thing we can do. We can attend these meaningless dog and pony shows, we can vote out those who support it, and we can continue to refuse the test for our children. In early 2008, then Vice Chancellor Merrill Tisch asked former Board of Regents Saul Cohen to lead a team of New York educators, administrators, and professors in a Regent Standards Review and Revision Initiative to create what may have been the country's best standards for English language arts and ESL. They were tasked to do the same with other subjects. They spent almost 2 years seeking legitimate and meaningful feedback from stakeholders around the state drafting the ELA standards. The team presented their work in December of 2009, to which Merrill Tisch said was brilliant. But then the project died in exchange for $700 million carrot from the federal government. The Common Core standards were developed behind closed doors, led by David Coleman, now president of the College Board, funded with over $1 billion from the Gates Foundation and over $3 billion of our tax money. The standards were quietly and quickly thrown together using a few teachers and professors from around the country to create the illusion that they had any meaningful input rather than just being a rubber stamp. That's not my definition of local control. With 4 children, the decline in learning over the last 5 years has been demonstrably noticeable. Test prep is part of their everyday daily routine. Regurgitating unimaginative answers from informational text, devoid of context while using formulaic writing, is a critical thinking rhetoric that supporters would have us believe. The same goes for giving students one source material and applying as the only viable place with which to draw conclusions. Supporters of the standards are quick to highlight that Common Core math is now narrower in content and deeper in thinking. It might sound rigorous, but what I have found is that with a focus on multiple methods, many of which have already been tried and failed, rather than the best method in order to be labeled proficient, fewer math concepts are taught. In fact, writers of the Common Core math standards did not see a need for students to go beyond Algebra 1. Yet these are supposed to be higher standards. Our children are being trained to satisfy a workforce as future employees, not educated to think for themselves or gain the knowledge necessary to be a future employer or entrepreneur. And people thought the achievement gap was wide before. I have tried to find anyone who can show me evidence that these standards are proven to be educationally effective and financially sustainable and will prepare students with the well-rounded education they need and deserve. And I'm still waiting. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Ms. Heather Sparling.